The insightful mind looks at conspiracy theories and basically says, what is the likelihood that this is occurring? And they use their knowledge of history and current events, etc., to kind of understand what's going on, and they kind of read people and so on and so forth. The vast majority of responses to conspiracy theories are basically idiots, fools, who have no imagination, no understanding. They're just idiots. They give you some kind of corny, sarcastic response. They may as well be a government oppressor themselves. There's a good chance that they are. So let's look at the animal direction of society. When one is only concerned with their pack, survival, okay, their nation, their race, whatever, this is an animal response. Wolves feel the same way. Monkeys feel the same way. To transcend, you have to put an emphasis on moral truths, okay, transcendent reality. The reality of the situation is it's wrong to not install a valid, transcendent hero martial arts order as the government. Okay. Of course, it ends with me because everyone else, their systems are allowed because they conform. Okay. So when we look at this thing, we look at Huey Newton, for example, and we look at these communist guys. Communism is strictly concerned with uniformity and putting thugs in government who leverage their kind of insider knowledge to extort the rest of the population. Okay, so this guy had no intention to elevate men that were better than him, that were moral and ideal, to put the lamp on a stand. Any movement that doesn't want to put me front and center to be the point of reference for the ideal man is not sincere. What kind of a role model are you putting out there for the kids? You're just another Western, Greco-Roman kind of styled Western system of oppression and extortion. You're just putting different faces on it, right? Black, white, Hispanic, whatever. It's just different face, same thing. Same thing with the left-right paradigm, okay? The left, they have complexes, they're sensitive. We expect their responses to truth is to spaz out. I'd expect a feminist to start acting really obnoxious if I point out that the African martial art hero pharaoh, the male pharaoh, is superior. Okay? She'd flip out. She said, you've capped it. Women can never compete with you because you're this martial art hero. They're simply not. Okay? That's not how they think, even when they blur the line. Okay? And when they blur the line, they often come into the white Western kind of male idea. Okay? The right is downplaying racism. They're in denial. When I hit them with truth, I expect them to avoid, to withdraw from the argument, to make straw men, to go into denial, to start acting like an obnoxious white person. It's kind of like at the protests when we see them. They're in the energy of the state, right? You can't take anyone seriously who's in the energy of the state. Let's face it. The state is oppressive. It's corrupt. The Republicans, the alt-right, they're in the energy of the state, the police, these big brutes with shields. Often they'll have shields, police equipment, and so on and so forth. There's a thin line between them and the police. They live in the same neighborhoods. They have the same cultural energy. They're oppressors. Okay, it's basically oppressors saying you're getting in the way of our right to oppress, with some consideration for poor white people. Not respectable at all, just despicable, pathetic. All right. So when we look at money and women's judgment, right, it factors in. Females are social norm fanatics. Men tend to manipulate the norms and make the norms with some more assertive females. And then they kind of take advantage of this thing. It's every culture that is allowed is part of the jackal system, communist, crony, capitalist, you name it, okay? Where they make everybody a certain way that they aren't too impressive, and they're not a light on a stand, and they're bred not to be. And then they take this scumbag elite and their cronies and their managerial class, and they extract the things they want from the population, money and the women. Women show an appalling inability to transcend this system, to be aware of it, and to identify the good man. And we see that in high school onward. At points in their life where they have no business sucking a social norm dick, they still suck it. Anyway, they choose the guy, they choose to have sex with the guy to the point of having kids, they choose to raise the kids, and they guide the kid through life more often than not. They have the disproportionate control over society. All right, so I got to run, so I'll leave it there.